Hello everyone, so it's been a while. So this would technically be my 7-month progress video, but between life stuff happening and everything like that, it's basically my 4-month progress video. Because I ended up taking a collective time of like 3 months off from studying just because of life stuff and all that jazz. I poked around here and there, but not enough to actually make any kind of progress. So it's just like I would check in every once in a while with like my reading or like my Wanikani, maybe some Anki reviews, but like nothing substantial. So I am counting this as my 4-month progress video, and I am no better at speaking. That wasn't even a correct sentence. So yeah, I do feel better about my pronunciation. And in this video, I'm going to go over my 4-month progress in my vocabulary, my grammar, my kanji, and my immersion. So here we go. So as far as vocabulary goes, I know about, I would say, 550 to about 600 words. I honestly feel like I slowed up on learning just because I got tired of flashcards. Like I got really bored. So I have a list that I go through, and it's in an Excel document. And it pretty much goes over all the vocab, grammar, and all that stuff that you need for the JLPT. So I pretty much just kind of go down the list every week or so and then see how many words that I actually know. Just because it's just like I'm studying different cards here and there, and I'm studying in Wanikani, and I'm using all these different methods. But then it's like I pick up a lot of vocabulary just from my immersion as well. So it's nice to see how I progress. So it's just like, you don't have to do something like that, but it's just like, it's a nice way to just like gauge how far you've actually come. So I'm pretty much studying the same way as in my previous video, which you can check over here. I'm just using Anki, I'm using different language apps, using Wanikani. Recently, I've been using a Chrome extension called Toucan. I guess that's how you would say it. It looks like a toucan, so it helps you learn words while going about your normal activity on your computer. So when I'm looking at sites like Reddit or Google or anything, even when I'm doing work and I'm actually doing my scheduling, it will change some words to Japanese words. Now, in the context of everything with grammar and the sentence structure and everything like that, it's not always correct because it doesn't change the whole sentence. It just changes 1 or 2 words. But what it lets you do is you get to like pick out the word, and then, you learn a new word, and that's it. It's like I enjoy it because it is helping me pick up more words in areas that I'm actually interested in, or areas that actually pertain to my life. So how I can improve in this in the future, well, I was trying to hit certain goals and I didn't meet them at all, mostly because I got burnout. And getting burnout with Japanese, along with just my regular everyday life stuff, I had a lot of stuff going on, and I just kind of slowed up on everything. So, and then stopped. I also had this very weird feeling at a certain point. I didn't like how a lot of my study time was just dedicated to just doing flashcards. It kind of sucked. I didn't like it at all. And at times it was fun, like when I was doing the Anki cards and I was doing the sentences, the tango deck. That was fun because as I progressed through the deck, I was understanding more, and I was picking up a word here and there. So in that way, it was fun. But actually, just being like, this word is this. What is this word? This word is this. What is this word? Like, I got tired of doing that. Then between a lot of the different study resources that I was using, there was a lot of overlap. And between using Genki and then different like decks and everything like that, I kept encountering the same words over and over and over again. And it was words that I just didn't care about. Like, it was words that had nothing to do with me. And it was about students and school and just all these things that, like, I'm not in school. I'm not a student. I'm not a teenager. I'm not, so it was just like, I understand that a lot of like these learning resources, you're in school or you're in some kind of school setting, and they're going to teach you those words first because they pertain to you. But I'm an adult that doesn't go to school, and yeah, I'm just learning a ton of words about teachers and grades and classes and all that stuff, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, those words are important later on in some aspects, but not to me right now. So it was kind of bumming me out a little bit. So I don't know, maybe because it's just like I do know a lot more school words, maybe I should give another anime a try. Like I heard Haikyuu is good. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Haikyuu? I heard that one was good. My girlfriend seemed to be really into it, so maybe I'll try that. I don't know. So as far as grammar goes, I understand a handful of particles. Maybe 2 handfuls of particles. I can make very, very simple sentences very slowly. They can't be anything crazy complex at all. Like, at the most, I can do a sentence maybe, or understand a sentence that has about 2 particles in it. So as far as study goes with my grammar, I've been using Genki 1. Now, I'm not powering through it at all. I kind of just study like a page or 2 here and there kind of thing. And I was starting to work through the workbook, and I was doing like the exercises and everything like that. And what I encountered when I was doing that was that I could not write hiragana or katakana. Like, I can read it. I can't read it as well as I can read English at all, but I can read it. And when I was writing it, it was so hard. Like, I would know the answer in my head, but when it came time for me to recall the character to actually write the word, I couldn't do it. So then that made me revisit my actual, like, writing in hiragana and katakana. Now, this is something that you don't have to do. This is just something that I personally wanted to do, and I wanted to be able to read and write, the writing systems. But, I mean, everybody has their own goals and stuff, and if you type it all in, it kind of finishes it for you, so it's really not a big deal. But the workbook itself is just, it's a paper workbook, so I wanted to actually go through it with pencil. As far as what I need to do to improve in this area, I think I'm doing pretty okay right now. I am studying Genki, and I would like to try and... With Genki, I would like to try and get it done in about the next month, and then start on to Genki 2. But I do have the Tango N5 deck that I also use as well, and that helps me a lot with my grammar and sentence structure. I found that I also have to learn more verbs. I know a lot of them, but when it comes to recalling them out of nowhere, it's a little bit hard for me to recall them. So I need to study up on more verbs. So as far as kanji goes, I feel like I'm around the same number. I would say it's somewhere between like 200 and 225 kanji that I actually know. And so that's about 50 to 75 more, I think, in a month. I'm not sure if that's a good pace or not, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm still using Wanikani at this point. I completely dropped my 0 from kanji book because Wanikani, I kind of went over all those kanji already. So I don't really need the book anymore. Like, the book is good for like just practicing, just writing, I guess, and just doing exercises and reading sentences. But other than that, I don't really need the book anymore, and I'm just sticking with Wanikani. At one point, I had over 200 reviews, and because I fell behind just with like life stuff and everything like that, I just kind of got burnt out with the whole thing, and yeah, it kind of sucked. What I didn't like was at one point, it was taking me about an hour a day to do all my reviews for Wanikani, and I was stuck on level 5 forever. Due mostly to me being busy and then forgetting stuff and then having to go back and kind of relearn it. So level 5 was kind of a rough level. The past week I ended up getting into level 6 and I'm caught up on everything and I remember everything and I'm doing a lot better with that now. So as far as I need to improve in this area, I'm still gonna do Wanikani. I did install another script on my Wanikani that allows me to put things in a certain order. So I learn radicals first, then kanji, and then the vocabulary. because it's like you need the radicals and the kanji to actually pass levels. And part of the problem I had with the previous level wasn't that I didn't know the kanji, it was the vocabulary that kept holding me up. And then like it would be like one kanji that was like weird, and it was just all over the place. And then like I didn't have enough levels in the one thing, and yeah, it was just all over. So I know that Wanikani's system isn't really like set up to do it that way, but I seem to be retaining the info better and learning it better by learning all my radicals first, all my kanji first, and then seeing the kanji over and over and over again in the vocabulary. So I'm going to keep going with this route. I've also been reading a lot more and trying to pick up kanji there as well, but as far as any other resources for kanji, I think just Wanikani is the way to go. Okay, so as far as my immersion and input goes, I'm actually pretty excited about this one. I think I've been doing a lot better when it's come to input. I've been watching at least an hour of Japanese media a day, so it's usually in the form of anime, but sometimes it'll be like a realistic real-life show. But either way, it's been at least an hour a day. One thing I also started back up was Pimsleur. And for those of you who don't know, Pimsleur is just like an audio-only course that they have like a bazillion languages that you can do. Alright, and I'm just taking the Japanese course, but there's 5 levels of Japanese, and you listen to it, it's 30 minutes a day, and then you go to the next day and you listen to another 30 minutes, and you progress through the course each day. And basically it uses SRS just in an audio format, so it helps you with your listening comprehension, and it also helps you being able to output as well. So you hear the language with pronunciation, and it's all broken down. So they break it down from the back end to the front end, and it just makes it a lot easier to comprehend. It also has cultural context when necessary to explain what exactly is happening in the scenario. But the one thing that has changed is I started working out again. So in my workouts, I will listen to Pimsleur, and I will listen to about an hour of it. I will listen to the previous lesson from the day before, and then I listen to the next lesson. So you can do it however you want to do it. They do recommend to only take 1 lesson a day, but a lot of times 2 lessons back to back, they only introduce like maybe 1 or 2 new words, and then just keep recycling the phrases. So sometimes it's just like, I just feel like it's like one of those things you kind of have to just go at your own speed and what works. Because it's like I do have input from other areas as well. I'm not just solely doing Pimsleur. If you were solely doing Pimsleur, I would say do it the way that they want you to do it. But because I'm getting it from Anki and just media and everywhere else, I know a lot of the words that they're introducing already, and I don't need to spend as much time on the lesson. I actually this past week just finished Japanese 1 of Pimsleur, and yeah, I don't feel any more confident in my speaking. It is helping me with my listening, so that is good. I haven't had much time to play any Japanese games in the past month or so, or even like the months before that, and I probably won't this next following month. As my work dies down a little bit, I'll probably have a little bit more time to actually focus like serious studying into video games. But I have been streaming a couple times where like I would stream Wanikani reviews and everything, and just like me studying. So that's been fun. And that's pretty much it for my 4-month progress. I know I mentioned a few study tools, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments down below. And if you like, I can go more in depth in a video about just any particular study method. Feel free to subscribe to keep up to date with my progress and my study methods. Alright, ja, mata ne.